Hello everyone, and welcome to my Sister Wives For You channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Mykelti is at last speaking up about her father, Kody Brown, and his partiality. Supporters are widely aware of his preference for Robyn Brown, his fourth wife. But the Sister Wives star also appears to have a favorite child. Now, Mykelti has revealed some startling details regarding Kody's early years. She has received a lot of flack for standing by her father over the years. However, by demonstrating unwavering support for Christine's marriage to David Willie, she won over her detractors. David is very close to Tony and Mykelti. Mykelti frequently talks about the trauma she experienced growing up in a huge, polygamous family. She also disparages her siblings and stepmother. After revealing something shocking about her father, the reality TV star stunned fans once more. Which child was the favorite? What was revealed by Mykelti? Sister Wives. Christine says Kody is fixated on appearance. The first person to leave her spiritual marriage to Kody Brown was Christine Brown. She and David Willie, her new husband, moved on. The Sister Wives star, however, continued to talk about the difficulties she had in her marriage. When Christine revealed a serious red flag in her ex-husband's behavior, everyone was taken aback. According to her, Kody liked to compare his spiritual spouse's appearances. Even the type of hair each of them had captivated the TLC star. According to Christine, her husband was a big fan of makeup and wanted his ladies to constantly appear gorgeous. Robyn was even frequently complimented by Kody on how well she dressed up for him. Meri later revealed that he brought her shopping to ensure she always looked well. Mykelti talks about Kody's favoritism on Sister Wives. Mykelti speaks candidly about the challenges she encountered as a child. Along with her husband, Tony Padron, she enjoys sharing personal details about her family on her YouTube channel. The TLC stars recently discussed family dynamics. Mykelti asserted in it that her father had a favorite child as well. She acknowledged that her father never said that, but his actions demonstrate this. She was never prepared to hear that from her father, because she was an insecure youngster. Aspen was the favorite child, therefore the reality TV star already had problems growing up with her. Tony disclosed that his father-in-law had publicly declared that Aspen was his favorite. He enjoys it when his girls and boys are attractive, he stated. I believe this is the reason he consistently claimed that Aspen was his favorite. The Sister Wives star believed that she was constantly prettied up, which may have contributed to his preference. Kody said that, but Tony made it apparent that he never did. Mykelti saw that her grandma usually got up and dressed first thing in the morning. As a child, Kody may have observed his mother doing the same. It might be an additional factor in his attraction to Robyn. In previous interviews, Christine Brown, Mykelti's mother, made the same statement. She believed that her ex-husband was fixated with appearances. Fans, however, were shocked to learn that the polygamist had a favorite child as well. For additional tea on Mykelti and Tony's confession, keep checking TV season and spoilers. The Sister Wives universe was rocked by Mykelti and Tony's most recent revelation about Kody Brown's favorite child. They said that, for private reasons, their father consistently gave Aspen preference over other children. Mykelti even claims that her sister was prettied up and made some startling disclosures, according to reports. That's not all, though. Mykelti and Tony aren't afraid to discuss their family and have a lot to say, as usual. Is this accurate? What's the point of this? What makes this couple believe that Kody's favorite person was Aspen? To find out more about the terrifying specifics of this tea, keep reading. Sister Wives star Kody Brown's fixation with appearance. Viewers of Sister Wives are well aware of Kody Brown's fixation with appearance. He has a thing for looks, whether they are his own or someone else's. This was even corroborated by Christine Willie, who said that her ex-husband enjoyed comparing the appearances of his wives. Even the type of hair they all had captivated him. According to Christine, Kody even enjoys makeup. He was constantly searching for attractive women. The well-known individual claims that it was very important to him. However, Meri Brown acknowledged this and said that Kody was completely preoccupied with his wife's appearance, including going shopping for her. Sister Wives. Was Aspen's beauty the reason Cody loved her more? One of Sister Wives' main plot lines has been favoritism, and viewers are aware of how it altered everything. The wives and admirers knew, and they even saw how Cody had kids who seemed to get more affection than others. In the midst of all of this, Mykelti and Tony finally discussed the dynamics. Additionally, the latter asserted that he overheard Cody candidly acknowledge that Aspen was his favorite child. According to Tony, Cody enjoyed beautiful things and people. I will say that Cody does definitely and unmistakably have a very big preference for pretty things, he stated. The famous person claimed that Cody has a taste for attractive men and women. As a result, he felt certain that Aspen was his favorite child. But Mykelti wasn't prepared to believe that Cody had stated it so directly. She clarified that although he didn't say anything, the latter did act in a particular manner. But Tony was positive he had heard the same thing. As the insecure second child, I don't want to hear that, Mykelti continued. She remembered how Cody's favorite child was usually Aspen, to whom he would pretend to talk. This decision was made because Aspen was always prettied up, as Tony immediately pointed out. Though she didn't want to hear it, Mykelti knew the truth deep within. She had already considered Cody's aesthetic preferences. She had talked about it before.
How do you feel about this?
Please share your thoughts in the comment section. In a bold and emotionally charged revelation that has sent shockwaves across the Sister Wives fanbase, Mykelti Padron, daughter of Christine Brown and polygamist patriarch Cody Brown, has come forward with startling claims that her father played favorites among his many children, favoring the ones he deemed more physically attractive. In a candid discussion that fans are calling brutally honest and long overdue, Mykelti didn't hold back as she described her experience growing up in a plural household where love, affection, and attention from her father seemed directly linked to how pretty or socially polished a child was. And in a moment that stung not just her siblings but viewers alike, Mykelti labeled her father as shallow, accusing him of using his children as reflections of his ego rather than embracing them as unique, individual souls worthy of unconditional love. Her statements have sparked massive debate, opened old wounds within the Brown family, and reignited ongoing discussions about Cody's perceived favoritism, particularly toward Robin's kids, and the toxic standards he may have enforced, whether consciously or not, within his sprawling polygamous family. The bombshell dropped during a private but emotionally vulnerable live stream Mykelti shared with fans and Patreon followers, where she fielded personal questions about her upbringing, her relationship with her siblings, and her evolving feelings about her father in light of everything that has come to light in recent seasons. While she initially tried to remain diplomatic, it wasn't long before one question cracked open the dam. Do you think Cody treated his kids equally? Mykelti visibly hesitated, then exhaled. Honestly?
No, he didn't.
He never did. Some of us were just invisible. And others, well, if you fit a certain mold, if you were more like the picture-perfect child, he could show off. You got more time, more attention, more praise. It's like your worth was tied to how good you looked walking into a room. That quiet accusation quickly turned into something far more damning. Mykelti explained that throughout her teenage years, a time already fraught with identity struggles and sibling rivalries in any home, let alone a massive polygamous one, she often felt sidelined, especially when Robin's children entered the picture. He always gushed over how beautiful Aurora and Brianna were, Mykelti continued. And it wasn't subtle. He would say it out loud in front of us. She's so graceful. She's such a pretty young lady. I can't tell you how many times I heard him use the word pretty when he was trying to say someone had value. That was his metric. That's what got his attention. That's what made you matter. For Mykelti, who never fit into Cody's rigid mold of what a golden child should be, whether that was based on personality, compliance, or physical beauty, the favoritism cut deep. And it left her and others wondering, was Cody ever capable of loving all his children the same? Or was he too enamored with appearances, too ego-driven, to see the damage he was causing? While Mykelti didn't directly name all of the children she believed were favored, her implications were crystal clear. She mentioned how certain kids never had to fight for his approval, how they could do no wrong, and how being born to the right mom definitely helped. That last comment was a razor-sharp reference to the long-standing fan theory that Cody has not only shown favoritism to Robin's children, but has built an entirely different reality for them, one full of security, presence, and validation, while the rest of his older children from Meri, Janelle, and Christine were often left grasping at scraps. Mykelti's emotional delivery brought fans to tears, particularly when she admitted that she once tried to be prettier, in hopes it would bring her closer to her father. I would wear makeup I didn't even like, dress a certain way, smile when I didn't want to, just to get noticed. And even then, it wasn't enough. I realized I wasn't the kind of daughter he wanted to brag about. I wasn't his ideal. And that broke me for a long time. The reaction online was immediate and fierce. Thousands of fans took to Reddit, TikTok, and Instagram to defend Mykelti and blast Cody, with many saying that her story confirmed everything we've suspected for years. Some pointed to specific episodes in the Sister Wives series where Cody fawned over Robin's kids while appearing cold or even dismissive toward his older daughters. "We saw it when Isabel was getting back surgery," one fan wrote. "We saw it when Gabe was crying. We've seen it for years. Now Mykelti is just finally putting words to what we've all witnessed." Others praised Mykelti's courage for speaking up, especially considering the lingering grip Cody still tries to hold over the public narrative of the family. "She's the first of the older girls to really say it out loud, that he equated beauty with worth," one user posted. "That's not just favoritism. That's trauma." But perhaps the most heartbreaking part of Mykelti's reveal wasn't just about the past. It was about what it taught her. "I had to unlearn so many things about myself," she said. "For years, I thought I wasn't lovable because I wasn't the kind of girl my dad wanted me to be. That's a really hard thing to shake. But I'm learning now, being pretty doesn't make you worthy. Being loved should never be conditional. And I want to raise my kids to know that their value doesn't come from how they look or how they perform. It comes from who they are." Mykelti's statement is just the latest in a growing wave of the Brown children stepping into their truth, breaking free from the narrative Cody once controlled. Paedon has spoken openly about dysfunction in the family, Gwendlyn has addressed favoritism and emotional abandonment, and now Mykelti has placed a mirror directly in front of her father's shallowest instincts. Will Cody respond? Will he deny it, deflect, or dismiss it as he has so often done when his children call him out? Or will he, finally, be forced to confront the damage his obsession with appearances and image has done to the very people he claims to love? Only time will tell. But for now, one thing is crystal clear. Mykelti Padron has reclaimed her voice, and in doing so, she's blown the lid off a truth that was hiding in plain sight. The Brown family's fractures aren't just about marriage or religion or Robin. They're about years of being measured by an impossible, superficial yardstick and the brave children who are now refusing to be weighed by it anymore. Ask ChatGPT. In a jaw-dropping and emotionally raw moment that has ignited heated discussion across the Sister Wives fandom, Mykelti Padron and her husband Tony have come forward with a shocking new claim that Cody Brown, patriarch of the once unified plural family, showed blatant favoritism toward their sister Aspen, and not because of personality, achievements, or shared interests, but because, according to them, she was prettied up in a way that Cody admired and preferred. In a live Q&A session that started off lighthearted but quickly veered into startlingly honest territory, the couple didn't hold back as they reflected on their upbringing in the Brown household, delving into Cody's obsession with appearances and his disturbing pattern of favoring children who presented themselves in a way that aligned with his superficial ideals. The moment sent shockwaves through the audience, not just because of the claim itself, but because of how calmly and casually it was delivered, as if the wound had long scarred over, and this was simply the sad truth they'd accepted. But for longtime Sister Wives viewers who have long suspected uneven parenting from Cody, this new layer of insider commentary provided a painful and deeply human look into how Cody's behavior shaped not just his relationships with his children, but how his children saw each other. It began during an unfiltered Patreon live session where Tony and Mykelti were asked to rank which of Cody's many children seemed to get the most attention growing up. The two laughed awkwardly at first, clearly aware that they were stepping into dangerous territory, but eventually, Mykelti leaned forward and said, "It's definitely Aspen. And I love her, she's my sister, but if we're being honest, she always got more attention from Dad. Always." Tony, sitting beside her, nodded in agreement. "Yeah, and it's not like she asked for it. But she fit the image, you know? She looked like what he wanted his family to look like. She was presentable.
Polished.
Always dressed nicely, had that smile, had that soft-spoken vibe he liked. Like she'd been prepped for the spotlight." Mykelti chimed in again, this time with more intensity. "She was prettied up. That's the truth." And it worked. Their words hung in the air like a truth bomb. And the implications were massive. In one single sentence, "She was prettied up," Mykelti cracked open a reality many fans had only speculated about. That within the massive Brown family, there was not only favoritism, but a calculated, deeply gendered dynamic at play, one where appearance, femininity, and conformity played major roles in determining which children received validation, praise, and involvement from Cody. According to Mykelti, Aspen, Christine's oldest daughter, and known for her calm demeanor and traditional poise, naturally or perhaps unconsciously played into the mold that Cody held in highest regard. She was the perfect child for him to show off, Mykelti said. The good student, the well-behaved daughter, the sweet, mild one who didn't push back. And yeah, she looked the part. That mattered to him more than he'll ever admit. What makes this revelation even more complicated is the deep affection Mykelti clearly still holds for her sister. At no point did she throw Aspen under the bus. In fact, she went out of her way to defend her, stating that Aspen never asked to be favored and was often uncomfortable being placed on a pedestal. It wasn't her fault, she insisted. She didn't try to outshine anyone. But Dad made her the golden child because she was easier to praise in front of others. She didn't cause drama, and she fit his image of what a good daughter should be. Quiet.
Cute.
Polished. Tony added, "It's not like Aspen was trying to be that." But Cody latched onto it. What followed was an avalanche of commentary from fans, both on social media and on various Sister Wives Reddit threads, where followers dissected the implications of what Mykelti and Tony had said. Many longtime viewers recalled moments from early seasons where Cody seemed to beam with pride when Aspen entered the room, complimenting her composure, her appearance, or her grace. Others remembered how, by contrast, Mykelti was often portrayed as more headstrong, quirky, and off-script, which many now believe led to her being overlooked or even subtly criticized by Cody on camera. One Redditor wrote, "This explains so much. Cody didn't just favor wives, he ranked his kids based on looks and presentation. That's devastating." Another commented, "The fact that being prettied up was a strategy for love in that house? That's emotional manipulation. That's a toxic environment." But it wasn't just the favoritism toward Aspen that struck a nerve. It was the unspoken implication that other kids, including Mykelti herself, were punished in subtle, consistent ways for not conforming to Cody's ideal. "There were times I'd dress up, try harder, act sweeter, just to get noticed," Mykelti admitted. "But it never lasted. I wasn't Aspen. I was too loud, too real. And eventually, I gave up trying to fit into something I wasn't." Her voice, tinged with both sadness and resolve, painted a heartbreaking portrait of a daughter who wanted to be seen by her father and learned the hard way that he only looked when the image fit his version of perfection. Tony, never one to mince words, concluded with a scathing observation. Cody always wanted his family to look good on camera. That was the priority. That's why Aspen got the love. She made him look like a good dad, without saying a word. The rest of us? We were too complicated, too messy, too real. His words cut deep, and fans couldn't help but agree. As the Sister Wives series has unfolded over the years, viewers have watched as certain children, particularly those from Christine and Janelle, have faded into the background while Robin's children, and those who visually fit Cody's public persona, took center stage. The emotional fallout from this reveal is already being felt. Christine, now thriving outside of her former marriage and newly remarried, has remained publicly supportive of all her kids, but fans are wondering if these revelations will prompt her to address the favoritism that occurred under her roof. Will Aspen speak out? Will the other Brown siblings corroborate Mykelti and Tony's account? Or will Cody, true to form, dismiss it all as bitterness or misunderstanding from children who didn't see the full picture? His past reactions suggest he'll double down, but the court of public opinion is rapidly turning against him. Again, at the core of this explosive situation is a truth that's hard to swallow, that within a family already broken by jealousy, power struggles, and abandonment, favoritism wasn't just between wives, it was internalized by the kids. It shaped their self-worth, their sibling relationships, their understanding of love. And now, those children are grown, raising kids of their own, and unearthing the silent codes they were raised under, and breaking them.